All right, welcome to the ESk8 UK live experience. Today I've got something a little different, but very, very important to all of us. We're going to talk about mental health. I've got two amazing people with me here, but first I've got to get through some housekeeping. Guys, I'm going to read out verbatim a little bit of an intro on some mental health information. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this video are our own. Trigger warning. We'll be we're talking about depression. We may touch on some suicidal ideation, and so if that's not for you, you cannot watch this video. We can't guarantee that the information in this video is accurate, complete, or right for the situation. We also don't endorse any websites mentioned in the video. Not medical advice. This video is educational only and is not meant to replace advice from your doctor. If you have a health concerns, always talk to your healthcare provider. Don't ignore or delay getting professional medical help because of something you watched here. Our liability, we're not responsible for any problems that might result from watching or using information from this video you use. Everybody out there, just as a follow-up for that, if you do have any challenges or you're going through something, please reach out to your local contacts, doctors, medical professionals for direct help. We are going to touch on some pretty heavy topics today, but we'll try and keep it light and informative and have some good conversation and have a bit of a joke on the way through, because realistically, one of the things we probably all love to talk about is what we do, and that's what it's all about. But at the same time, we're going to go over some of the real parts of life, I suppose. So without further ado, I've got Grant, who you would known from just a recent live up top.
Hey,
Good day, mate.
hey, sir.
And I've got Jared, never yielding down below. I don't know where you'll see everybody on the screens, but from me, Grant's up top right, and Silent Suki in the background as usual, giving us all the prompts and keeping us on track. So, guys, this is a bit of a heavy one, and I appreciate both of you. I know I've gone back and looked at your live videos that you've done on this channel before, and you've both, I suppose, been through a lot. I'm going to give you a little bit of my last few years. 2 years ago, after 18, 20 years of relationship and marriage and two kids, my marriage ended. I've suffered from depression at times. I've had mental health issues. I've had counselling on and off for the last probably 8 to 10 years, maybe 15 years all up. So I've gone through some pretty hectic stuff. Still going through it. I've got challenges with my family right now with children and their issues. And I love them dearly, but it does weigh down on you. You take the responsibilities of the whole world on your shoulders as a husband and provider, but not just that. And I won't keep this just to the men. Women, mothers, daughters, we all suffer from different environments and different conditions and different histories. So I'm gonna try and tie this as much to ESk8 as I can, because that's what we're here for. Jared, with you, mate. I want you to probably give a quick summation of your life, your snapshot of your worst part of it all, if you can.
Oh, sure. So, I actually grew up without my dad. My dad committed suicide when I was little, and it's a kind of part of me really wants to push for mental health. I don't feel like anybody should feel alone, and I felt like he felt alone at the time, and that just instilled in me a want to help people in that area.
I think that's something we don't talk about, that loneliness as a parent, as a provider, as somebody who feels like they're working all the time for the greater good, but they're not taking care of the greater good, which is themselves. Because, I mean, you're like your dad, mate. He probably thought, I'm doing this for everybody else around me, but I just don't know who I am anymore, or I'm lost, and I don't know who to talk to or where to go. And I suppose I'm in my 50s. Jared, I'm pretty sure that you're probably 30s or something, because you look really young
31.
compared to this old bastard. But realistically, back when our parents were going through that life change that probably you're going through, and I'm phasing through now, because my kids are 15 and 17 nearly, there wasn't any conversation about mental health at all. So with the generational changes, being more aware. And for your dad now, if he was in this time, I think there would have been more opportunities for him to get through that. So I'm sad for your family that we're not in when we weren't in the better position back then for him and for your family, mate. So, going back to ESk8, what drove you down this road then from that environment when you grew up?
As far as e-skate, I've been skating since I was about 8 years old. That's been kind of my way to deal with things is skating.
Yeah.
It's always been there. And
Do you feel
always
that
had a passion for it.
do you feel that when you were young, the adrenaline helped sort of fill a little void every now and again?
Yeah, skating and music. I mean, that's two things that I grew up. I mean, they were always there.
Yeah, and I find that's very common. I mean, a lot of mates of mine, and I grew up around dirt bikes and motorcycles and things myself when I was younger, and every time I jumped on my dirt bike as a kid, and I skated, I lived on a massive hill, so I skated downhill quite a lot as a kid as well. But every
Nice.
time I got that adrenaline hit, it was like there was a moment of zen or peace.
Yeah,
And I don't know whether I searched for the adrenaline when I was younger because of all the stuff I went through, broken marriage and families, and I had the full Brady Bunch, but we weren't like happy rainbows and unicorns. We were axes and you know kicking in doors and beating the absolute shit out of each other. So it was like WWF, but in real time. So I get that adrenaline hit and that freedom of being separate from the world for that moment is probably really intense. And I suppose for you going into that skating and coming back from your normal skating childhood where your trauma was probably big back into your older life where you felt that same sort of recourse of freedom. Would that be a long grab, or am I just spitting in the
no,
wind?
you're right on track with that. I mean,
So,
it's
so I'm sorry for this being so deep and grabbing, and I know it's a lot to share, but for me, skating now, I skate a lot on my own. I don't know whether you guys do as well. I mean, everybody. I see
I
Grant's
do.
videos where he's got a big, I don't know what you call it in a minute, a stoogie or whatever it is, gob, and he's helmet on and he's cruising down the trails and stuff, and he's got his drone behind him. I look at those and I just think, this guy has got it made. He has seriously got it made. But I know that, and Grant, I'm gonna reach into you too now. Going from where you've come through and your story to this position in the world where you look like you're living life bigger than I don't know, bigger than a rock star with your videos. They're just so prime. They're great. How have you come from go I'm not going to elaborate on your story unless you want to. How how have you gone from there to here?
Uh, well, it took a lot of time, a lot of self-discovery. Um, it it's a journey. It's a journey for everybody. Um, but it just Eastgate came from. I know I touched on this subject on the previous show, and I dislocated my shoulder, and that's how I got into Eastgate because I needed that that rush. And I wasn't getting that rush because I had an electric bike that I ordered that I received, and then I couldn't even ride it because I couldn't even put my arm up like this.
Right.
So I was like, what can I do? So I found out, oh, I can e-skate. I can put my arm in a sling, do the controller with my thumb, and just skate around. I was
Yeah,
skating around in my neighborhood, and everybody thought I was crazy, I guess.
yeah.
But
So Grant, where did your I suppose did your I suppose depression or anxieties come from that original injury, or did they
oh
set
no,
before that?
no. So I want to say, so when did this happen? So back in 2007, I got deployed to Iraq, and I got deployed there for a year. And coming back, they uh, you go
Thank you
through.
for your service too, Grant. Greatly
I'm
appreciate it,
sorry.
mate.
Oh,
Thank you for your
oh,
service, man.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
But yeah, you go there, and then after you get out, they check you out and see if you're okay. And there wasn't really any like check on like, are you okay mentally? Are you, and things of that sort. And also there was a stigma too, like within all of us, of course, it's like, oh, you got PTSD. What do you mean you got PTSD? I mean, people didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I think it's something that people, unless you've experienced major trauma, you will never understand PTSD, or unless you're a person with open eyes and open ears and an open mind, you can accept that things go on in people's heads, and the trauma of something like serving. And I said, thank you for your service. My one of my brothers was Section 8 from the army in Australia from
okay.
mental discharge. He fell apart, and my other brother's still serving in the Air Force. He's a blue boy. Whatever. No, I'm joking. We respect him too, and I've got a niece in the Navy. So she's a water rat, and she loves it. And but I do feel that it's one of those underlying things that people don't really understand. It's being,
Yeah.
I suppose, the stigma of it back in when you probably went through it as well was probably big. Everybody just labelled you, and they don't, without any understanding of what that is. So that caused a level of, I suppose, anxiety for you and others who have suffered from it as well, because everyone's just labeling it and walking away and saying whatever. And I think that's harsh too, mate.
Yeah, and you become a target too. So not only that, they look down at you, and and
don't.
now that we're older, so I'm like 42 now, and I got out back in 2010, and now I see all my friends, they all are going through the VA process and claiming PTSD and claiming disability now, which is
Yeah,
like far too late.
yeah.
Um,
The
you know,
problem was way back then, not now.
yeah,
Well, the problem
I
continues
already,
to go because it wasn't dealt
yeah,
with.
and we already had people lose their lives, because
Yeah,
they didn't get that help they needed,
yeah. And I think
and
and this is why I commend both of you for coming on here and talking. I mean, Jared, yourself, and Grant, and to a lesser degree, but not to be diminished, myself. Um, People don't talk about it enough, and I think the people I've come across in Eastgate, I've got close friends who I've made lifelong friendships with, who have got friends who have passed away, who have committed suicide, who just couldn't find their way through the mud. And I say mud because we all live through different levels of the gooey stuff. Um, and the mud is different from all of us, but at the end of the day, it's still mud. And with the right support, with the right ropes to get you out of it, you can get through it. And I think one of the things for me, Eastgate was, I don't know whether through COVID, everybody had different experiences in Australia, in Melbourne, Australia, where I am. We had this prison state where we weren't allowed to go out for nearly 9 months or 10 months straight. We were locked up. We could go 5 kilometers from our home. And if we were caught out, there was army and military knocking on your doors. If you went somewhere and you weren't supposed to be there and you were caught, then the army and police would come to your house. So we were locked up like a tight bloody rabbits in a burrow. So we went through all of our lives and then thrown this in as well. And we've still got kids with trauma today, including my own children, who still are suffering because of that, that lockdown and not being able to socialize and grow as children. But skating for me, Eastgate, bring it back to Eastgate, gave me that chance. I had 5 kilometers, so I could go 5 kilometers out from my house and then do a 5 kilometer loop all the way around. So that loop became um, my piece of
saving
heaven,
grace.
slice of heaven, and saving grace. Absolutely, it was my psychological respite, I suppose.
Yes.
I think, and I think I don't know about yourselves, and I'm going to ask you outwards. Eastgate for me gave me not just the passion for something amazing, but the opportunity to just find freedom and silence in a space that I needed to quiet down for a while. Um, I mean, how do you guys? I mean, what are your comments on that? I suppose.
I feel like ESk8 it's changed a lot for me. It kind of opened my eyes to a life that I didn't think that was there. Before I, I'll be honest with y'all. I've had a slight brain injury in my late 20s. I was given a 20% chance to live past the end of I think 26.
Wow.
The end of that year, I ended up having a cyst grow in my sinus cavity, and it pushed on my brain for about a year. It's messed up a little bit of my memory and gave me a little bit of social anxiety. But as far as e-skate, when I started e-skating and skating every day, trying to, it's it's really helped me as far as talking to people, being more open with my skating. It's allowed me, I mean, skating has allowed me to connect with so many people, and it's not just here in the States, but people all over. And you can get on Facebook, Instagram, you can connect to these different kinds of riders, and it's cool. I mean, it's cool hearing their stories and what they're going through, and maybe connecting with somebody can allow you to talk about things that you weren't able to talk with your friends or family about. And
Yeah,
it's
absolutely right on, Jared. I completely agree, man. I can't fault those comments at all. I mean, Grant and I have had a few chit chats on the socials in the background. Jared, you and I haven't probably come across each other very much, but I've seen your stuff online a lot. Um, I've got friendships that supersede my family. And I call these other guys, my wolf pack, and I proudly wear my T-shirt for my wolf pack, which is Scott Davies, Thomas, B-Boy Stretch, or Eastgate Nomad, and Drew Elliott. These guys are family to me now, and Eastgate gave me a secondary family, and I absolutely around the world. Like, I mean, Thomas is in the UK, Drew's in America, Scott may as well be in America because he's like 2,000 kilometers away from me in Australia, because Australia's like this small, right? Um,
Yeah.
these guys, I talk to them once, twice, 3 times a week. Sometimes I talk to Scott nearly every day. Sometimes I'm messaging the guys in the 4 o'clock in the morning, and the guys are finishing work, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And it astounds me that the world is so small now, and our passion can stretch across the continent. It's the whole globe is just so singular now, and taking advantage of people with our like same mindsets and same challenges and so forth. Because I think, I don't know about you guys, but there's a lot of people in our space that have gone through trauma of some kind, small, large, or indifferent. And Jared, your story about having such a small chance of living, and I'm so glad you're here and sharing the love of and your passion of Eastgate with us all, because that's huge. I couldn't imagine, you know, I couldn't imagine
I'm
that.
grateful for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Besides Eastgate, I'm going to reach out. Besides Eastgate, what else things give you that will to keep moving forward?
And besides e-skate, I have my daughter. I talk to my daughter, see my daughter as much as I can, um,
Beautiful, man.
work as much as I can. I was talking on the last show that I was on. I was talking about a van that I'm putting together, and this van it's gonna be a mental health e-skate van. I want to I want to do videos on the build. I want to get out to groups, and uh, it's just something to look forward to. Get out to groups and spread a good mental health message and get to talk to people.
Yeah, it's
Something
awesome,
I'm
man.
really looking forward to next year, man.
Yeah, and it's good. So your daughter, you get to see your daughter part time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same, man.
yeah, yeah. It's been
That's
that way for 8 years now.
Man, my heart goes out to you. I've been only doing it for a couple of years, but it's tough. It's tough being on that side of it.
Yeah.
That side of it. So, yeah. Look, I'm the same. Grant, I know you've got a family. You're a loving wife who we saw before,
Yeah.
bringing you drinks and looking after you, and you're very blessed and fortunate. So, congratulations. And to give her some respect, an Eastgate widow is, as I call them, is a tough gig when their husbands, boyfriends, or partners are even the other side as well.
So a little on that. So our marriage almost broke apart. So it was due to me self-diagnosing myself and just drinking all the time, drinking alcohol all the time, trying to numb my brain from thinking of, you know, past things that we all go through, like not even just Iraq, just like, my parents. My parents were first generation Korean parents from Korea to here in the States. And
Yeah,
so, of course, there's a lot of pressure on them, and they can only raise us the way they knew how to raise
yeah,
us. And that also, took effect in, my mental, health too. And
yeah,
so, I mean, I would medicate with alcohol, just get drunk all the time, and just came to a point where my wife was like, I'm leaving you. I'm taking the two girls. I have a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old, and it just it just hit rock bottom for me there. And I, came to realize, how important they were to me, and I didn't want to lose something like that.
yeah,
So that kind of triggered me to, like, get some help, go, get a sponsor, go to AA meetings, um, try to reach out, get therapy, talk to a medical professional. I mean, all this kind of stuff that I'm saying is, it can be stigma, in the Eastgate, just because we're, masculine and big, and it's just, it happens. It's something that's real, and it's something that we shouldn't avoid. We shouldn't avoid talking about. I mean, every e-skater that I ran into the past year I've been e-skating is so welcoming and so, like, awesome.
yeah.
There's nobody out there that, trying to, you know, uh, I don't call you out or, make fun of you or anything. There's nothing like that. So I think, e-skate in general, it's, a safe space, and that's why I'm here
Yeah.
on this, show. And
100%,
you know,
100%.
I think that this is a wonderful thing, and that, if people are afraid to, comment or anything, that's fine. But it's just, I wish that the stigma would go away, that, this is a masculine thing. We're e-skaters, it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a real thing. And Keith Biddle, and I know Keith has had some tough times of it. And I'll tell you what, the guy is an absolute trooper. He gives so much to the community, and I absolutely thank him for putting that up there as well. Because I mean, there is no joke about this at times. It is serious stuff, and we all deal with some serious crap. You know, my my child, and I'm gonna get out of the way for a second here and give you some love. Oh, hang on a second. So this is my new guy. This is our new addition to my family. This is Cooper. He is the new e-skater in my household, and this guy has brought me a level of happiness in the last few weeks that I cannot tell you how much joy he's bringing my daughter, who's got some challenges too, some serious challenges. Yep, that's a microphone. You can say hello. So absolutely gorgeous. Love him to bits, and so grateful for him. But it's things like, your family around you, the friends that you've got. And I'll be honest, at times in the last year, last 2 years, I've had nothing. My family lives on the other side of Australia, where Scott is, up north. I don't have any family down here that I contact very often. I've got a couple of brothers, but I rarely see them. They're all blokey blokes, ride Harleys, tough, full of ink. And separate to the mainstream. So very rarely see them, unfortunately. And with the rest of my family up north, we don't. So those of us out there who are alone, reach out to your fellow ESk8 mates. Go and jump on a board and find some therapy through new friendships, new connections, and like these guys, just get out there and ride and find your space. Because sorry, my dog's starting to dig at the carpet now. I gave him some attention. He wants more of it. And just find your space, because it's this sport just fills so many voids for us individually, and it might only be that 10 minutes. And Jared, I don't know how much you ride, and Grant, I'm going to touch on that now. How much therapy do you guys need in a week?
So like for me, I'm going out like at least for 30 minutes.
Every day.
Every day, if it's not raining, I'll be out in 30 minutes. If it is raining, I'll jump on the treadmill and run 5K for 30 minutes.
So 5K on the treadmill equals 30 minutes on a board for,
Yeah.
and does it give you the same happiness?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
So running is
I
another
do.
one.
That was the first thing I did when I cleaned up from alcohol was jump on the treadmill and run. So I
Yep.
started running, and then next thing I know, I'm running like 5K, 10K, just leaving it all on the treadmill. I think I broke one of my treadmills. I have two, but yeah. So you get that runner's high, and that high kind of you know we're always chasing that high. We're always chasing that high, trying to, get that feeling, that sense of, I guess, being alive, the ultimate feeling of being alive. And, for other people, it may not be a skate like us. You can find that, high in other things like, family, friends, or different hobbies, so, yeah, I'll be out. So I'll be out there skating for 30 minutes, but if it was a bad day, I'll be out there for like an hour.
Jared, how about you, man?
I'm out here all day, but I'll rinse and repeat a couple times. I love it,
Yeah.
man.
Mate, I'm so jealous. In Melbourne, where I am in Australia, we have this seasonal thing. We can have 4 seasons in one day, unfortunately. And I call it the winter 10 to 15 kilo swing. Through winter, we get so stressed and depressed, we just eat like machines. Sorry, my dog starts digging again. And so, yeah, I put on, since ESk8Con in March, I've put on like 12 kilos through the winter months here, and inactivity and not being able to skate. So the sun's starting to shine again now. The last couple of weeks I've been out as much as I can. I work 12, 13 hours a day, unfortunately. But I'm finding minutes of the morning in the dark to skate, and because it's not raining and it's not freezing cold. And so, yeah, I'm jealous of both of you. But unfortunately, you guys probably have snow during seasons as well. So,
I mean, I'll still ride in the snow. I mean, there's a video of me riding in the snow. I mean, this is when I first got into it that winter. And I was like, I little did I know that these urethane wheels get slippery when it's wet. So it took me a couple times to realize after
you know that
falling.
Bon Jovi song was just for you, don't you? Or was every e-skater out there? It's slippery
Yeah.
when
So yeah, I'll ride out there for 30 minutes to an hour. But it's again another thing about balance. So I found out my wife would complain and be like, "Hey, you're out there too long. You need to spend more time with family." So that's another thing too. Like don't go out there riding, for that long, and you know, uh, it's a balance. You got to find a balance in everything.
So you guys both post a lot of information on socials and writing and stuff, and you've probably got. I say anybody in ESk8 who's got a following of more than 150 followers on Instagram is actually doing well, because we're not the mainstream group of people out there, unfortunately. How do you guys find when people message you or reach out to you? Because I know that Keith and I spoke about this at ESk8 last year a little bit, or this year, sorry. I'm still in this year. It wasn't last year, it was this year. And a few other people I talk about, because for myself, being a YouTuber at times, or a pretend YouTuber, because I don't do it full time like others, or I don't do videos guaranteed 2 of them a week like other people. But do you guys feel like there's sometimes pressure on you to put stuff out now? Because I, for myself, I feel imposter syndrome all the time, every day. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be riding these boards. Why have I got the most expensive boards out there? Am I an insane person, or what am I doing? People don't believe me. I can't really ride this thing well, so should I be riding it all? The pressure on ESk8 to keep going. Do you find that's a thing for you guys at all?
I
You
don't
can go
really feel a whole lot of pressure as far as to keep going. I think it's more now. I want to be more open, and I want to help get people into speaking out about what they're doing and what they want to do, their goals, maybe what they're going through. But yeah, there's a lot of people out there that has better cameras, better gear, better boards. I mean, it's all fun though. I think people don't need to be so serious with it and just have fun and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. It's a very
Yeah,
good point.
I think there's a line. There's a line that you cross, and once you cross that line, you're like, you feel you need to be, dedicated to doing that kind of stuff. So Tom reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, why don't you start doing reviews or doing that kind of stuff? I think you'll be good at it." And I was like, you know, it comes to a point, it crosses a line where I'm enjoying e-skating, and then after that, I'm gonna be like held in contempt to make a video, and like
Or not make a video and judge for it. Yeah.
yeah, it would restrict, my freedom in doing that kind of stuff. So definitely, I just feel like now when people reach out to me, and it's awesome because technology these days, you're able to just pick up the phone and just call anybody. Jared and I were talking earlier today, and it was awesome, like talking with him and just connecting.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that, and for people to just text you out of the blue, and you're trying to match up their Instagram names to their real names. But
So, Grant, the first time I went to ESk8 I came across Silent Ghost Reaper, and he walked right
oh
up to me, and he had his mask on, no helmet, and he walked up to me, and he's going, "Hey, Craig," and I was like, "Got no idea who you are." And he's like, and then he sort of got in close, and he gave his name. He was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm standing right in front of you. It was just absolutely insane. And I think one of the
yeah,
things that I say to people about ESk8 because and I don't know if I'm going to get there into 26, unfortunately, because I've been there 3 years in a row and it's cost me so much bank. It's not funny, but the amount of people in our industry or in the community, the social community online, is just to die for. I know Biddle and the boys. The pressure affects me a lot sometimes. Yeah, Dill is a guy who I would say is one of the best riders in there as far as freestyle and tricks and all the rest of it. He's got an insane ability, and the pressure on him to keep providing or showing up all the time must be insane. I'll say it out, Lid. I love the guy. He's someone I care for deeply on a friendship level, because he's someone that I really worry about, because I know he's a really sensitive dude, and but his riding is bigger than life itself sometimes,
yeah,
and I get to ride with him occasionally, and for myself, and I think I always try and find the balance for my online presence and my life presence. I love group rides, but I don't like fools and lunatics on group rides. I love socializing and riding beside someone and having a conversation, and Jared, like you, just talking about ESk8 and where they're from, what's going on, and all that sort of stuff. Just connecting, right?
Yeah.
I don't do as many reviews because it's not really my thing. I don't share a million types of boards. I share the boards that I buy, and a couple of companies that I look after, like Meepo, have always been pretty good, and they've sent me something, or hey Craig, what do you think? And send it to me, and I'll have a look at it. But there's only a few of those things that I continuously do, and it's boards that I want to do. I don't just do everything. But I don't know. For me, the imposter syndrome is real sometimes because I feel like I'm a fake. Like I shouldn't. I'm not a Scott Davies. I don't have 10 or 15 or 20,000 subscribers. So should I be doing this? Have I got a voice? And then I get around the community, and the community bear hugs me like they do with everybody. Right? Just we're just a huge, massive family. One thing I'm going to say here, and I'm probably going to be contentious for a few people, is I hate ESk8 trolls. People in our community who slag off other writers, slag off reviewers, have a go at people who are trying to share the stoke and the love of what we do. I hate, and I hate such a horrible word, but I detest the negativity in our space and the personal attacks that some of the community come out and hit us with. I think there's no place for it, and I think, in all honesty, and it's my little 2 cents here, find positivity in what we do, promote the people within the community for sharing what they're doing. You guys are two icons. You should be respected and loved for your sharing of the work you do. Everybody in the community that shares a video or posts a video, give it a like, give it support, because everybody in this world tries to make a difference. Yeah, fake until you make it. Well, Jenny, I got to say, I'm still faking it, and one day I hope to make it. And you know what? If you don't like it, shove it up your clacker, because I don't. Sorry, it's an Australian thing. Shove it up your clacker. I don't care. There's my 2 cents.
Clacker. That's the first time hearing that.
Blacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And in all honesty, I hate some of the negativity and people just trailing everybody off, and I love what everybody does, and I like too much stuff. I know I just go in there and like everybody's stuff, but hey, you got to do it. You got to do it, because without you guys and without the community continuously forging, our community would keep shrinking because
Yeah.
it's
You
not
know,
mainstream.
to all those trolls out there, it's they so
Absolutely.
they only have power if we give it to them. So if it just doesn't bother you, just don't worry about it, Just if they don't get the attention, then they'll just be there and they won't,
But the thing, Grant, that annoys me is there's plenty of attention to go around, right?
yeah.
It's I'm the most laziest social media dude in the world. If I couldn't be stuffed, I'm not doing it. I just don't care, and
Yeah.
it's probably the worst thing in the world when Suki says, "You want to do a live?" and we're like, "Who am I talking to?" Yeah, I'll do it because I love the conversation, right? And I love to talk, but I'm the biggest introvert when you get face to face with me. But on a
Uh,
camera, I can talk like an idiot and just control conversations, which I'm sorry about because I would do it all the time. But yeah, it's just one of those things. But there is plenty of room to go around. Share the stoke, get involved, share a video. It doesn't matter whether it's 20 seconds of garbage or whether it's 20 seconds of you doing a tabletop jump at a BMX track and launching into outer space. It doesn't matter. Or if you're cruising along with a stogie in your gob, with your drone flying around chasing you around, it just doesn't matter. Just share, keep the love going, keep the stoke going. And the one thing that I'm getting more and more used to, and I don't know how you guys feel about this. There is less board shaming now than there was. I don't know whether you guys ever experienced that.
where
Oh.
some people look down on you from riding I don't know, a lesser
Yeah,
board.
yeah,
Oh, I honestly I ride by myself, so I haven't been in a lot of group rides. So I didn't really experience that. I didn't experience that at all, when we visited Ohio for
yep.
that festival. Everybody was there, was awesome.
Yeah,
and
but
there were
I
all
got
kinds.
to say, Grant, we're probably all jealous that we could be at that event, the Heartland PEV event. You
Oh man,
guys, oh, here we go. I'll be horrible. You guys suck. No, it's because I wasn't there. I so much
no,
wanted. I just wish America was like I could just teleport.
it'll come soon.
Come on, Elon, get your crap together, man. I want to be able to teleport around the world to and I want the teleport to be PEV and battery friendly.
Yeah. No, we had all kinds of boards on that group ride. Everybody was riding together. It was everybody was looking at each other's boards. They were like, "Wow, what kind of board is that? What kind of board is this?" And then it's just, and for us riders, we don't really necessarily memorize the specs and know everything in detail. So we're just like, oh, that's that board. Oh, okay, that and then we just ride, you know, just enjoy each other's company and just ride. It was awesome.
So
Yeah.
I got it, Jared. I'm just going to try and get my American geography down. Whereabouts are you in the US?
I'm over in Texas,
Right.
near probably closer to Dallas than anything.
So Jared's in the sidearm wielding territory of America, and Grant, you're on the coast.
Yeah, like the Washington D.C. area.
Okay, so in Texas, the ESk8 Racing dude is from Texas as well. You guys have got quite a good crew of people out there. Do you socialize with the group rides at all, or are you more of a solo rider? Or
I I have in the past on my street board. I've rode with them before. They have a lot of group rides. I don't have access to a vehicle to get out there right now.
yeah,
I'm in between right now, waiting on that van. But once I get that van, I'll be out there more often.
all right, mate. You may want to get yourself a local crew, see if there's a couple of skaters around you, and see if someone's going out to the ride, see if you can hitch with them just to get out there. I mean, it's something that I see happen here a lot too. There's a lot of younger guys who don't have cars and can't get out, or people have gone through challenges, and that's another thing. Um, if you're in a community or in an ESk8 community on Facebook page or something, if you're going to an event, reach out to see if anyone needs a lift, because someone like Jared would probably love to get out there and do a group ride. Just reach out, see if there's people around you, and share a lift, and you've got another local e-skate buddy in your local area. There are more people e-skating that we don't know about than we do know about. And I don't know, in the wild, when you see an e-skater, it's like, dude, it's a dude. Oh, gone. You sort of a little piece of you, like a little that inner child goes, yeah, this is
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. And then they're gone. It's like, oh yeah, that made me feel good.
I've done that. And my wife looks at me and she's like, "You're so weird."
The
But yeah,
worst thing about being an e-skater is when you're
I,
driving or you're going somewhere and you see that random trail take off to the left and down the side of a road, and you go, I wonder where that goes.
yeah. Definitely. So I try to recruit my neighborhood kids. So so I got
Why not?
them on Eastgate and I said, as long as you wear a helmet and your parents give consent, then come out and we'll ride. So I let them borrow my boards and stuff. I mean, they'll come back dinged and
Yeah,
scratched and all that, but
who
it's
cares?
okay. Yeah, who cares? It's
So,
just a board and
Jared,
they're gaining that experience.
Jared, is your daughter old enough to ride now?
She's never really had a passion for riding.
No.
She's actually about to get a longboard. She's taking up. She doesn't want it electric, so
Oh, an analog. She
but
wants the analog.
at least she's gonna be riding though.
That's awesome, man. That is so good. And you
Yeah,
never know. The crossover may happen, but I'm lucky enough. My eldest daughter comes out and skates with me occasionally, and um, I got to say, not often, but it's one of the best experiences for me personally to be able to share. I mean, e-skate's not for everyone, but to be able to share it occasionally with your child is awesome. So even if she's got an analog longboard, you can just hang out at the park with her, and if she's practicing
yeah.
dance or whatever, you can just hang out and just have it. Believe it or not, for me, it transcends the conversation you have with your children. because
Yeah.
they're in their free zone and they're more willing to open up to you. And I shouldn't say JT. Them, sorry, have got the most unique outlook on the world. It's so different and so objective to mine. And when I go out and they skate with me, I'm still getting used to this world. They are so open to have a conversation. So even they have challenges in their life as a young person. And I think if we as parents, as we as guiding arms for those people in our lives below us who we've brought into the world, can help them generate those understandings and growth and awareness that it's okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be unusual. It's okay to think differently. It's okay to love differently. It's okay to feel deeply, and not be judged for it. But also, it's okay to connect with the unusual people around us as well. I
Yeah.
think too often, and I've the last few months, I'll be honest, being in where I am, winter, grey, cold, wet. I eat for depression because it's the only thing that makes me feel content at the moment. Because I can't skate, I can't do a lot of things, so I eat now. About a month ago, I had a massive heart issue, and basically was told, no exercise, no this and no this. You've got to get your diet back under control and all the rest of it. I was considering getting ESk8 up, and my stooge board had just arrived. It took me 6 weeks to put the stooge board together just to put it on the track. That was 5.5 weeks in here trying to figure out if I can even ride this thing or whether I'm up to riding this thing. So I think respectfully, you don't know who around us is suffering from what. They have this thing in Australia called "Are You OK Day." I try and make "Are You OK Day" every day for people around me, but the problem is, and the people in your own lives, and anyone watching this should do this. You should be asking the people around you to ask you if you're okay occasionally, because we don't ask ourselves if we're okay.
I was talking to Jared today on the phone, and Jared, you mentioned, there's different approaches, different ways of asking somebody if they're okay. And did you want to share on that?
Yeah,
Yeah. 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 So I I've been through a lot of things. Y'all know this already. But as far as somebody asking me if I'm okay, I most of the time I always just wanted to say, yeah, I'm doing great, even if things weren't okay. I just want them to at least have good thoughts about me at the time, not try to bring anything negative to the space or the conversation. So I held off from saying certain things. But as far as reaching out to somebody, I stopped asking if they're okay, and I just basically told them, I approached it differently. I started approaching it differently as far as at, basically saying, I'm thinking about you. I hope everything is great. If you ever need, somebody to talk to, I'm here, kind of thing. I felt like that was better than just asking if they're okay.
Yeah, I honestly completely agree. You sometimes asking someone, "Are you okay?" is it's a false want, because you want a lot of people, "Are you okay?" They don't really want an answer.
Yeah.
Um, and I've got friends who I know personally who have gone through some serious crap, and Jared, um, and other people are different, right? Some people will want reassurance. Some people want a hug. It sounds weird, but some people want a hug. Some people just want a fist bump, and some people want to be acknowledged that they're alive.
Yeah.
I think understanding the people around you is a good methodology to understand how you can communicate with them. So yeah, I agree, Jared. You can ask people, "Are you okay?" But you can create the greater conversation is, "How are you doing?" You know,
Hmm.
and sometimes somebody, I'll be honest, if they don't want to hear your story, if you're struggling and they don't want to hear your story, evaluate your friendship, because people who care will care for you as a human being and will give you the time to share and care equally. If someone talks about themselves all the time and doesn't give back and want to help or want to know, you need to challenge the friendship, because friendships should be holistic for everything. And I was probably getting a little bit forceful there, but the conversation needs to be there. We need the stigma of blokes being and even females out there being alpha men and women these days. Great. Be an alpha at work, be an alpha in the bedroom, be an alpha at the nightclub, be an alpha everywhere in your life. But realize when you're an alpha, you're supposed to be at the top of the food chain helping those around you.
Yeah.
Alpha, make sure you're sharing and caring. If you're in the zone amongst the middle group, open your arms and communicate effectively with people around you and have that deeper conversation. Because as you've heard from 3 different people here, myself, I've had family problems, children problems, health problems over the last few years that are pretty horrendous. Jared, health problems from a young age, missing, loss of your father when you were a child, and then all the other challenges come after that. Grant, PTSD potentially. I'm sorry, I don't mean to label that, but return service, and the whole lot, and all the gamut of alcoholism and alcohol abuse and all the rest of it. Depression can come from the simple thing like waking up and not being able to find your car keys.
Yeah.
To be honest, to the holistic thing of coming home and your house is empty and there's nothing left in the drawers, or your clothing is the only thing left in your wardrobe or in the cupboard, and you've got one plate, one cup, one bowl, and one set of cutlery, if you're lucky, and having the house empty. So the reality of life is that we're all challenged in different ways. But, and I'm gonna point to you right now, Jared. If you look at behind Jared's in a real scene right now. There is no green screen behind him. He's in sunshine, beautiful creek behind him. I say this as a joke because we thought there was a green screen before because it looks so beautiful. There's sunshine, there's birds, there's people exercising, there's bugs flying over the water. Find a piece of the world that makes you happy. It could be partly a place like that. It could be sitting in a cinema watching a movie. It could be, sitting with a loved one and having a cup of tea on a veranda in the morning with the sun coming up and mist on a field. I don't know. Find your zen, find your place. But if you're an e-skater, jump on your board, get out there. If it's snowing, take a bit of Grant's, I suppose, ethos here and jump on a board and just ride through the snow. If there's salt, make sure you clean your board and your bearings so you don't destroy it afterwards. When it's raining here, it's not torrential like it is in some parts of Asia, but it rains pretty hard here and down in Melbourne, and it's usually gets terminal. So,
Yeah.
I'm opposed to the rain, believe it or not. But clean your board, go and find some zen around your e-skate world, because one of the things I find is I will get online and I'll look at Fred changing wheels or doing, for e-skate Unity, doing something to his board on a live. I'll find Drew flicking up little Instagram reels and YouTube shorts all the time, or Thomas or Scott or RB Motion, Liam from Radium. All these guys just throw stuff up, and I just lose myself in that digital world for an hour. You know what? Sometimes I feel better just from getting a little bit of a fix from that. So find your zen in that. I am talking way too much garbage, and I'm sorry for that. We've been going for 53 minutes, guys. We've been going for ages. I know there's a lot of people probably in the chat or who are watching who probably have things around this. We've had a few people pop in, Keith, Dill, and others. If you guys want to ask any questions, or if you've been exposed to anything that you want to talk about, throw us a comment up there. We've got a few minutes left. I'm going to, Grant, give you a few minutes, Jared, then you, and just to, I suppose, have your 2 cents on this topic. It is a big, heavy thing to go through. But the light of e-skate and what we make and our passion of what we're doing and where we are, and I'm so bloody jealous of Jared right now. God, that scenery looks amazing. What what in ESk8? I'm going to ask, what in ESk8 brings you to that place of happiness? Is it the buying of 10,000 sets of wheels, helmets, 45 boards, or riding? Where is it for you, Grant?
So ESk8, for me, is being in that moment, in that car, in that uh, just riding around, just feeling feeling all the feels, you know, and just feeling the wind in your face, you know, and just if you're in that car, it's kind of it gives my brain a break, so it kind of stops everything and stops my brain from thinking. So I have like anxiety too, so you have a lot of things you think about, and your brain's always going like, you know, 24/7, and then just gives that 30-minute, an hour, just to give that brain a break and just to, you know, decompress,
So,
decompress.
so Grant, just to go back to your military days, through the military, there was a thing that motorcyclists have called the term wind therapy.
Oh,
Have you heard of
wow. No.
it? I came across this a few years ago when I was right in the trenches of life. And it says is a term for the sense of peace, joy, and confidence motorcyclists experience while riding and feeling the wind.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
colloquial term for the therapeutic effect of riding a motorcycle, which can help individuals cope with stress and find a sense of freedom. The term is also used in titles of books and blogs, blah blah blah. So it is actually a known therapy now.
Oh, wow. I never knew that. That makes a lot of sense.
There's something for everybody out there. Wind therapy through ESk8, not just motorcycling, ESk8, and it's
And
the same.
that's why a lot of dogs like putting their head out the window.
No, I do that too, but it really makes people look weird at you.
So,
No,
you know, we all
that's
know
you.
mental health is not popular, and like, you know, we always try to avoid it, and um, it's just, you know, looked down upon, or maybe it's not, you know, obviously it's not talked enough. Um, you know, I just wanted to say the holidays are coming up, and the holidays are the most difficult to get through,
Yeah,
especially people with depression, anxiety, PTSD. It's also, you know, people that lost loved ones, you
yep,
know.
yeah,
It's because the holidays we celebrate lives of lost ones, and, you know, we remember them, you know, and, you know, I always encourage people to celebrate their lives, you know, that
yeah,
the ones that are left us, you know, that are no longer here, just celebrate it with, you know, your friends and family, and just, you know, remember them, take a shot for them, you know. You know, grief is not going anywhere. So, you know, instead of suppressing it, you know, we just need to acknowledge it and, you know, face it.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Feelings that are pushed down
yeah,
and suppressed build up.
yeah,
Um,
and we have to prioritize self-care, you know, and not self-destruction.
yeah, I
You know,
think a person said to me years ago, Grant, when someone close to you goes, don't hurt for them, live for them.
yeah,
And it's something that I try and remind myself. My grandmother was one of the greatest inspirations of my life, and
yeah,
I love her eternally, and I miss her daily. And she used to live life big. She didn't work as a after she had kids and all the rest of it. She was one of those stay at home mums and stay at home grandmothers, but she looked after her family and she was big for the family. But she always reminded me that you've got to live.
yeah,
Um, and to make a lot of it every day. So, I for the holiday season, I completely agree. It's one of the worst seasons because we do miss the people that mean the most to us, and
yeah,
we crave those that are not with us anymore. And
yeah,
Jared, I know you probably feel this as well with your history as well, mate. And I, my heart goes out to everybody out there, including yourselves. But it's one of those times where we've got to live for them and show the
Yeah.
world that this is a great place. man, nature is just hanging around you today, Jared. You got birds just.
Yeah, these
It's just
big
awesome.
birds are screaming
They
at
are.
me right now.
um, so, Jared, same question back to you, man. If you can remember, because I can't. I've already gone. We've gone way past it already. But
Nah,
yeah,
I'm kind of branching off of what you said earlier about connecting. I feel like more people should connect and be open about what they're going through, even if they're not posting. You know, if they post it on their Facebook or whatever, you can change the settings to just friends.
yeah,
But being more open, connecting with other riders, you never know if somebody's going through the same thing, uh, and it makes it it makes it a great space if you can reach out to people and talk about what you're going through and feel like you're not alone in the situation.
yeah,
It feels great. Feels
yeah.
really great.
And I think the one
Um,
thing that I want to just add to both of those is every day's a journey, or is
mm,
part of a bigger journey, and every day is a step. Um, what happens today that brings us down is not necessarily what's going to pull us down tomorrow. We're challenged every day, and how we tackle those challenges, or how we suppress those challenges, or how we move those challenges into positives is, I think we all deal with things differently, and I usually, for myself these days, I say, oh, okay, what's next, and say, you know what, and I've stopped saying what's next, what's the next, because all bad things come in threes. Something bad happens or something challenging that challenges you happens. I always say, right, okay, that's one. Shove it up your clacker. I was going to say something else then, but no, shove it up your clacker, and all right, next thing's going to be a good thing, and I try and
Feel
generate that. Right,
positive.
next thing's going to happen is going to be a good thing, and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not. Sometimes the next thing happens, and it's like, all right, shove it back up your clacker again. We're going on a number three. Number three is going to be a good one, and sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but trying to every time we have a clap, or, a, a, a knockdown or a rejection or a failure, challenge it back up and go, okay, next one's going to be a good one. Just keep trying to find, and it's hard to find that positive mindset, but trying to find it is a good thing.
Yeah.
Fred, what's up?
Definitely.
How's my
Go ahead.
board that I sort of didn't win last week? Anyway, it is one of those things that we've got to find the positive in anything, and guys, I am so humbled by you guys and your stories today. I appreciate everything you're doing in the community. I love the community and I love everybody within it. Um, I do reach out as much as I can, but also know that on the socials, if you are finding life tough, reach out to those around you who you know. And if you want to get information about something in ESk8, reach out to the people that are sharing, because they're sharing because they want to help. And Jared, can't wait for your van to get up there and for you to share your whole van life and ESk8 and sharing of ESk8 around the country. That's going to be epic. And hope your daughter gets to travel with you as well, because that'd be cool. Traveling around
yeah,
the world.
yeah, that's
Um,
gonna be awesome.
and Grant, keep doing what you do, man. I love the stogie drone shots
Actually,
that you keep sharing.
there won't be any stogies because I traded that for the one. That's one of the things. I told my wife I'll give up cigars if she'll let me buy the one.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Good trade.
Yeah.
good
Good
trade.
trade.
Yeah, I'd make that. Oh
Yeah.
wow! So we're going to see more footage of the one, and no more stogies. So, uh, guys, is there anything else you want to say that we? I don't think we've had any more comments from the gallery at all. If there's anything else you want to say, please feel free.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if you can't find anybody to talk to, feel free to reach out to me. I don't mind talking to anybody on here.
Awesome. That is amazing, mate. I appreciate.
Same thing. Reach out to me. Feel free to message me, call me. I don't care. Just call me whenever. Um, I'm here. As long as you're reaching out, you know, don't give up. Don't give up.
Yeah. And last thing from me is, if you're not e-skating and you want to try it, find a local group, intro to speeds, or any of those sorts of things to reach out and have a bit of a grab at. And there are intro to speeds popping up all over the place around the world these days. Try and find one. If you can't, find a local ESk8 page in your local area. If you're in Australia and you can't find anyone local to communicate with, jump onto ESk8 Oz, because we do it. If you're in the UK, obviously ESk8 UK, where you're watching this from, or if you're on YouTube, jump into the Facebook page for ESk8 UK live experience. And in the US, jump onto any of the socials over there. The US is mad for it, and these guys are two of the prime examples of different regions in the US. It looks lovely down in Texas right now, and I'm very jealous. And the other thing is, before I close out, if you've got any challenges, please seek medical support and or groups and social groups and the community. I mean, in Australia, we've got Beyond Blue and a few of these other things. There are helplines available. There are professionals who help in this space, as well as your community. So if there's people around you, reach out to friends and family, and also the medical professionals for all the support you need. Don't be shy. Shouldn't be a stigma. We should be open to the idea that this is not a joke, and people do need support in all facets of life, not just the physical. I've got a cough, I need to fix it. Mental health is a thing that needs to be recognized in all facets of life. Now, October 24th, there is something big going to happen. I'm just going to say, don't forget to make sure you're subscribed to channels. Watch out on socials, because on October 24th, something big is coming. And on a lighter note, I can't wait for that. It's going to be pretty epic. And from what I'm seeing, there's going to be quite a few people mixed up with it and all sorts of other stuff going on. But I can't share too much. Keep an eye on the socials.
Darn.
I have no idea what's going on.
ESk8 UK live experience, and Suki has got something amazing coming. So stay tuned. I can only share that much, but it's going to be great.
Oh, come on.
Nope. Nope. Stay tuned to the socials. There may be a few random YouTubers turn up. There may be some other random stuff going on, but I'll let Suki and ESk8 UK share all the details as it transpires. So that's it.
Cool.
Thank you again, everybody.
Bye.
Grant, Jared, mate, guys, thank you for such an awesome chat. I really appreciate you both, and I really appreciate what you're doing for our community. I endeavor to do more myself, but it is a climb for all of us at times. But I was so appreciative for being able to come on and do this today with you guys. So thank you so much.
Feel the same way. Thank you.
Keep stepping up.
Yep.
Find that positive way to move forward every day. All right, that's it. Thanks, everybody. ESk8 UK Live.